Hello, everybody. As Arne already mentioned, we do basic research on marine animals. And we are several groups in the South Center. And here you see kind of an animal tree of life, and which represents marine animals. Not all of them are marine. Here we have a zebrafish, on which several groups in our South Center are working on. Yeah, we are 9 groups, and some groups work on several animals, like here, for example, you see Heinol group, and here Heinol group. And you see here us humans represented by Charles Darwin, yeah, to show that there's something on evolution going on, and that you can see all these animals as your relatives. And all these relatives have to do the same thing, like eating, reproducing, and so on, as we do, but you can see that they are very much different from us. So they have developed over evolution different strategies to make these approaches to their environment. They also have to defend themselves, for example. And you see, for example, here, this is the base of the tree, which is also very good covered. For example, here we have sponges, we have jellyfish relatives, and here we have these simple worms, which I will introduce you soon. Then we have here our very famous model systems. The fruit fly, you will see them when you open a wine in summer. They will swirl around. And here is a worm, a small nematode, which is a model system, for example, for aging, and a model system where very important gene knockdown strategies have been discovered, which are now used in health or in medicine. And here we have also relatives to these, so we can study how these mechanisms these animals use are related to others, and how ancestral are these, and how are these related, for example, to us humans. And here you see a little bit funny animals which are close relatives of us. So we also cover this part of the tree to compare the results we find in these animals to us humans. And then we have another group which is looking at many, many different animals, but mainly bioinformatics. So they get this picture of some gene chip sequencing result. So I want to introduce you this worm you have seen before, which is a so-called acyl flatworm, a very simple animal. And as you see, it's crawling into this direction. And you can study several aspects in this worm. For example, symbionts and immunity, secondary metabolites, stem cells and regeneration, and also the evolution of biodiversity. Symbionts. So you see this animal is very green, and this green color comes from green algae, which are incorporated in their skin. So you can see them as kind of plant animals which are solar powered because they use the nutrients from these algae, and they show also similarity to tropical corals and also live in the same environment. So you can also call them as crawling corals, which makes them good for studying, for example, experimental results, because corals usually they don't crawl, they just grow. They cannot escape, for example, to parameter changes which are caused by global warming, for example, or ocean acidification. So you can change the environment for these worms and see how they react to this environment. For example, they avoid it and crawl away. And as you can imagine, if algae would grow in your skin, you would need an immune system to defend these algae taking over your whole body. So how does this worm manage to keep the algae in shape and still make use out of them without that they take over the whole animal? So you can study innate immunity in these animals. Another aspect of marine animals is often that they have no spines, they have no shell like mussels, but they have to defend somehow their body against predators. So this red color here produces, these are cells which produce a toxin which makes them taste really bad to nearly all animals, except for this one. And you will see that we are not always the humans are taking advantage of some things. Also, some other animals are first. This is I have to start it again. Sorry. But it's a good movie. So this is a nudibranch, a snail, which is the only animal which eats these guys. And what it does is it incorporates this color, this toxin, into their skin. So this got distracted now and gets eaten. It incorporates this color and substance into their skin so that no other animal eats the snail. Then I mentioned the stem cell system. So these animals are growing by a stem cell system, undifferentiated cells which make them like healing even wounds. For example, if you cut this animal, these cells are migrating to the place and make them forming a new worm or a whole worm. And it's also used, here you see these things at the posterior end are looking like new worms, and these are. So this animal buds off here new animals on the posterior part, and these become new worms which then grow again and form new animals. Then, as I said, they are early in evolution, so you can study the evolution of important organ systems like brain, kidney, heart, gut, and also the immune system, so the origins of these organs in us humans. And to just show that marine animals can help us humans with some aspects, I show you some marine animals which, let's say, won the Nobel Prize. Of course, everybody knows these are researchers who get it. But in this case, I think it's allowed to say it. Here, a sea urchin, cyclin was discovered, a very important molecule for cell cycling. Then memory, so that what the mechanism in the nerve cells which makes you remember the things I told you today. Here, green fluorescent proteins in a jellyfish. Anaphylaxis here. Then some squid, nerve cell excitation, and immunity in sea urchin larvae. So this shows you that we can make use out of this diversity we find in nature, and life comes from the ocean, so that we try to find all these important aspects of different animals in the marine environment. Thank you very much.